Like, to this day, I still think about that.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. Because I'm like, they promised me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we taking you. We taking you.
Did they?
I'm talking about all the way up to draft day. You understand? We taking you. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Detroit. Chauncey there.
Rip.
Johnny John. Man, all these guys is there. She came in the middle of the year. I mean, she got traded.
Oh, that's right.
And that's what really put them over the top. But they was like, yo, you gonna share time with Tayshaun? I'm like, cool. Like, I ain't, I'm gonna come and do my thing, but I don't know how long I'm gonna share time with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming and do my thing. And then they won it. And I'm like, oh, my luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if I'm there, I think they win another one.
I think so too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't jump out there so we 3P football. I think we go back to back if I'm there. Because that second year for me, I would have learned from those guys. They was all vets, and I would have learned from those guys in the way that second year coming back, I would have been a totally different player coming back. But,
everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason,
But I was,
man.
Good guys, Prince Sports here. Drink the coffee and make it feel better. I got to get at two guys, Ben Wallace and Joe Dumars. Now, back in 2003, they failed to draft Carmelo Anthony, a guy that everybody thought that was going to go to Detroit. I remember that draft pick, and I even picked it, Carmelo Anthony, to go to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons said that, Carmelo Anthony, we're going to draft you. But all of a sudden, fate took a different turn. But here's what I don't like. Ben Wallace went out of his way to say that if they drafted Carmelo Anthony, they wouldn't have won championships. You off the rocker stupid. I understand you're a champion. I understand you want to back your talk. You got pride. But come on. Not only would you won a championship with Carmelo Anthony, you would have won multiple championships with Carmelo Anthony. All right? You could have probably won 2 or 3. At least 2 at the most. That's a fact. I don't care about no what ifs, no. LeBron James don't get past Detroit Pistons if Carmelo Anthony is on that other side of the team, dropping buckets, unguardable, because remember, LeBron couldn't guard Carmelo Anthony, especially early in their career. Carmelo Anthony used to always give LeBron James the business. Hitting game-winning shots over LeBron James. Punishing LeBron James. So I don't want to hear that LeBron James nonsense. But Joe Dumars, I got another word for you. You made that stupid mistake by drafting Darko over Carmelo Anthony. You had a franchise player in Carmelo Anthony. A guy that was suited for Detroit Pistons basketball. You could have got that. You could have had that guy, and that would have changed Carmelo Anthony's whole career. He would have had championships before Wade. He would have had championships before LeBron. LeBron would have had to left Cleveland a lot more faster if Carmelo Anthony was on Detroit. Because he know he wouldn't be getting past not only Detroit, but he wouldn't be getting past Boston either. He needed a super team to win a championship. But Carmelo Anthony could have won a championship with those role players. And that team was deep. All right, there's a reason why they won, because they was deep. And if you ask me, what put that Detroit Pistons team over the top was Rasheed Wallace. So let's just assume that Carmelo Anthony comes and Rasheed Wallace. Because remember, Carmelo Anthony wasn't getting paid big bucks. He was a rookie. Now, the only confrontation you would have had was between him and Tayshaun Prince. Fuck it. You sent Tayshaun Prince ass to the bench. He could be the best sixth man of the year for the Detroit Pistons. Long arms. He could have gave Carmelo Anthony the much needed defense that Carmelo Anthony wasn't capable of playing. Right? Now, with Ben Wallace and all those guys on the team, they have more than enough defense. Chauncey Billups, more than enough defense. Carmelo Anthony would give you extra life. Because I remember that Detroit Piston team was a great defensive team, but they often had problems scoring. They needed somebody to put the ball in the basket. Guess what? If you had Carmelo Anthony on that roster, that problem is solved. He would have got you over the top, over the hump, when you needed more scoring. That's utterly disrespect by Ben Wallace and Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars, you should be ashamed of yourself that you made one of the worst draft picks in NBA history. You had a chance to get Carmelo Anthony, who was a perennial all-star, who had years of being an all-star playing at a high level, and you passed that up for Darko Milicic. You're already disqualified from the conversation, dog. Nobody in their right mind would have fucking drafted that guy over Carmelo Anthony. Are you kidding me? But you did it. You would have had multiple championships with Carmelo Anthony. You're going to win the first year regardless whether Carmelo Anthony is on the team or not, because that's what history has in store for you guys. The question is, was the years after that, would you won? The answer is yes. All right? I would have bet money on it that the Detroit Pistons would have won with Carmelo. Anybody with a brain knows that Detroit Pistons would have won with Carmelo Anthony on that team. I mean, period. That's like saying a team with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron don't win championships. Didn't they win? It's impossible for them not to win championships. They know they had to get the job done. Well, a team like that was one of the best defensive teams in the league at that time, with offensive power, firepower like Carmelo Anthony, they would have been completely good. Now, people say, oh, Carmelo Anthony was a hard-headed good player. He wouldn't have listened. If you started the guy, you let Tayshaun Prince come off the bench, he would have developed with all those veterans. They would have taught him right from wrong. And you don't know what his attitude would have been if he played with all those strong-minded alpha men that played on Detroit Pistons. They would say, hey, sit down, young buck. Let me show you something. He would have won. Sports out. Peace.